The news alert flashes across screens worldwide, a sudden jolt that ripples through every newsroom, every office, every home. The world holds its breath as the headlines roll in, uncertainty spreading faster than the news itself. A widespread internet outage has struck Southeast Asia, sending shockwaves through global financial markets. Traders stare in disbelief as numbers freeze, error messages blink, and the hum of commerce grinds to a halt. The digital heartbeat of the region falters, and chaos erupts in places that rely on split-second decisions and constant connectivity. For millions, the digital world simply vanishes in an instant. Bank transfers fail mid-transaction, leaving people stranded without access to their money. Video calls with loved ones and colleagues drop into silence, replaced by spinning wheels and blank screens. News feeds go eerily quiet, cutting off the flow of information that so many depend on for work, connection, and even safety. The invisible threads that tie our lives together are suddenly, shockingly, severed. The cause? Not a sophisticated cyber attack or a coordinated act of sabotage, but something far more mundane. A ship's anchor dragged along the ocean floor has severed a bundle of delicate glass fibers. These fibers, thinner than a human hair, carry the weight of continents' communications. In a single moment, a simple accident has triggered a digital catastrophe. This single accident has, quite literally, unplugged a continent from the global conversation. Cities that once buzzed with digital life now sit in a strange silence, their lights still on, but their voice is gone. The world watches as Southeast Asia, a region home to over 650 million people, is cut off from the rest of humanity's digital pulse. Today, on September 22, 2025, the world is more connected than ever before. Our cities are woven together by invisible networks, our economies interlaced by streams of data that never sleep. Every message, every transaction, every heartbeat of modern life depends on this vast, unseen infrastructure. We like to imagine the internet as a cloud, weightless, untouchable, always there. But that's a comforting myth. The reality is far more physical and far more fragile. Behind every click, every upload, every video call, there is a world of hardware, cables, and connections that can be broken in an instant. In fact, 99% of all international data doesn't travel through satellites or the air, but through physical cables, bundles of glass and plastic that stretch for thousands of miles beneath the world's oceans. These cables are the true backbone of the internet, carrying everything from financial transactions to family photos at the speed of light. These undersea cables are the hidden arteries of our global economy, pulsing with information every second of every day. They connect continents, enable trade, and allow cultures to share ideas in real time. Without them, the world as we know it would grind to a halt. Imagine for a moment a world where your connection to family, finance, and information could be cut at any moment. Where a single accident far out at sea could leave you unable to reach loved ones, access your money, or even call for help. For millions, this is not a thought experiment. It's a sudden, harsh reality. The global network is a vast web of glass tubes, stretching across the ocean floor like the veins of a living organism. Each cable is a lifeline, carrying the hopes, dreams, and daily routines of billions. Yet for all their importance, these cables are astonishingly vulnerable, exposed to the whims of nature, human error, and even deliberate attack. These cables carry the pulse of our planet's communications, transmitting terabytes of data every second. Technicians monitor their flow, ensuring that the world's conversations, transactions, and stories continue without interruption. But when a cable is cut, the flow stops, and the silence is deafening. A single break can have catastrophic consequences, plunging entire regions into digital darkness. The lights may stay on, but the connections that power modern life are gone. Businesses can't operate, hospitals lose access to critical data, and governments are left scrambling to communicate. The scene unfolding in Southeast Asia is just one example, a stark reminder of how quickly our digital world can unravel. Streets once filled with the glow of smartphones are now filled with confusion and frustration. Cafes that once buzzed with online activity now sit empty, their screens dark. We saw a similar crisis in 2023, when undersea cables were cut in the Red Sea. That disruption sent shockwaves through the digital corridors between Europe and Asia, slowing internet speeds, halting business, and exposing just how dependent we are on these hidden lifelines. Each time, the impact is immediate and severe. Businesses are forced to close their doors, unable to process payments or orders. Hospitals struggle to access patient records and coordinate care. Even governments find themselves cut off, unable to communicate with citizens or respond to emergencies. The ripple effects are felt in every corner of society. It's a stark reminder of our civilization's reliance on a technology that is both incredibly powerful and surprisingly fragile. We have built a world that depends on the constant, invisible flow of data. Yet that flow can be interrupted by something as simple as a ship's anchor or a natural disaster. Beneath the waves lies a system of astonishing power and vulnerability. These cables hidden from view are the lifeblood of our digital age. Their strength is immense, but their weakness is real. And as today's blackout shows, the pulse of our planet can go dark in an instant. Beneath the surface of our oceans, hidden from sight, lies a vast network of cables, thinner than a garden hose, yet more powerful than any road or railway ever built. These are the invisible highways of our digital world, the arteries that keep our global society pulsing with information, commerce, and connection. But why do these cables matter so much? The answer comes down to two things: speed and volume. While satellites orbit high above us, beaming signals across continents, they simply can't keep up with the demands of our modern lives. Satellites are slow, limited by the vast distances their signals must travel, and they can't handle the massive, ever-growing flood of data we create every single day. Imagine trying to funnel a raging river through a drinking straw. That's the challenge satellites face compared to cables. Every time you stream a movie in high definition, join a video call with friends across the globe, or watch the latest market updates in real time, you're relying on these undersea cables. Streaming, video calls, and stock trading all require massive bandwidth and ultra-fast connections, something only fiber optic cables can deliver at scale. Satellites introduce latency, a frustrating delay that can make conversations awkward and transactions risky. In contrast, undersea cables transmit data at nearly the speed of light, allowing information to zip between continents in milliseconds. This near-instant communication is what makes our digital world feel seamless and connected. Think of this network as the circulatory system of the global economy. Just as blood carries oxygen and nutrients to every cell in your body, these cables carry data, vital for business, communication, and innovation, to every corner of the planet. Every single day, this hidden infrastructure carries over $10 trillion in financial transactions. Banks, stock exchanges, and businesses depend on these cables to move money, execute trades, and keep the world's financial engine running smoothly. But what happens when a major cable is damaged by an earthquake, a ship's anchor, or even sabotage? Suddenly, the flow of money and information slows to a crawl. Repairs can take days or even weeks, and the impact is felt around the globe. Stock markets become volatile as traders struggle to get real-time data. Banks face delays in processing payments, and businesses can lose millions in just a few hours of downtime. The ripple effects can be enormous, highlighting just how dependent we are on these unseen connections. The global economy, with all its complexity and speed, is quite literally built on these cables. They are the foundation of our interconnected world. But it's not just about money. These cables connect families separated by oceans, power the social media platforms we use every day, and enable scientists to collaborate on breakthroughs in real time, no matter where they are in the world. During the COVID-19 pandemic, when the world was forced to stay apart, this network became our lifeline. It made remote work, online education, and virtual meetings possible, keeping businesses running and students learning even in the most challenging times. Imagine a world without these cables. Our internet would grind to a halt, businesses would stall, and our global society would become disconnected and stagnant. The invisible highways would vanish, and with them, much of what we take for granted in our daily lives. Today, there are over 500 active submarine cables, stretching more than 800,000 miles, enough to circle the Earth more than 30 times. Each cable is a marvel of engineering designed to withstand the crushing pressures and shifting landscapes of the ocean floor. This vast, intricate web of connections is what makes our modern way of life possible. It links cities, countries, and continents, allowing ideas, culture, and opportunity to flow freely across borders. As we move deeper into a digital-first future, the importance of these invisible highways will only grow. They are the backbone of tomorrow's world, ensuring that no matter how far we travel or how much we innovate, we remain connected, instantly, securely, and seamlessly. How does a submarine cable work? Fiber optics. Inside each cable are optical fibers, strands of glass as thin as a hair. Data is sent as light pulses, creating binary code. These fibers are protected by multiple layers, making the cable tough. Repeaters boost signals over long distances powered by electrical current. A single cable can transmit over 400 terabits per second. The light inside isn't just one signal. It's dozens of colors, each carrying data. These cables are alive with light, pulsing with the data of our world. They are the physical manifestation of the internet, a global nervous system. For decades, undersea cables were dominated by telecom consortiums. But now, tech giants like Google, Meta, Amazon, and Microsoft are building their own. Their global services require colossal bandwidth, so they invest directly. Google's Equiano cable links Europe to Africa. Meta's To Africa encircles the continent. This shift concentrates control over the internet's core infrastructure. Smaller nations must negotiate with tech giants for access. These companies are building a global mesh of interconnected routes. Their private infrastructure is more robust than older systems. The age of cooperative telecom consortiums is fading. We are now in the age of the tech empire, where trade routes are made of glass. The new trade routes are owned by the kings of data. The global network of undersea cables has critical choke points. The Suez Canal and Red Sea are data-dense and strategically important. The Luzon Strait is a gateway for data traffic to major Asian hubs. Natural risks are compounded by geopolitical tensions. The Strait of Malacca and English Channel are high-risk zones. A single act of sabotage or natural disaster could cripple communications. As data traffic explodes, these corridors become more critical and vulnerable. Laying a new undersea cable is a monumental feat. A cable-laying ship unspools the cable, which sinks under its weight. In shallow waters, cables are buried to protect from damage. Fishing trawlers and ship anchors account for most cable faults. When a cable breaks, repair is challenging and costly. Engineers pinpoint the fault and a repair ship retrieves the cable. The process is slow, expensive, and dependent on specialized ships. Recent incidents highlight the vulnerability of the undersea network. In 2024, cable cuts in the Red Sea reduced data capacity by 25%. The cause was linked to regional conflicts. In 2022, the Shetland Islands were disconnected due to a cable cut. The economic fallout from outages is severe. In 2011, a cable cut in Georgia knocked Armenia offline. These events underscore the digital divide. Nations with diverse connections recover quickly, others suffer. Each incident is a dress rehearsal for a larger attack. The question is not if, but when a major disruption will happen. The undersea cable network is a frontier for espionage. Sabotage by hostile states could cripple an enemy's economy. Russia has expanded its naval capabilities for deep-sea operations. Ships like the Yantar are observed near major cable routes. Beyond sabotage, there's the threat of surveillance. Tapping a fiber optic cable is difficult but possible. Cables owned by tech giants are attractive targets. The seabed is now a theater of strategic competition. The deep ocean is a battlefield for geopolitical rivalry. Protecting this vast and intricate network of undersea cables is one of the greatest challenges of the 21st century. These cables are the hidden arteries of our digital world, carrying over 95% of international data. Every email, video call, and financial transaction depends on their uninterrupted function. As our reliance on digital connectivity grows, so does the importance of safeguarding these critical links. The first step toward a more secure future is building greater diversity into the network. This means not just adding more cables, but ensuring they follow different routes, connect new regions, and avoid single points of failure. By expanding the web of connections, we reduce the risk that a single incident could disrupt global communications. More routes mean more resilience. If one cable is damaged, data can be rerouted through others, keeping the world connected. Redundancy is the backbone of a robust network, and it's essential for both security and reliability. But physical security is just as important. We need to invest in protecting the network's most vulnerable points, where cables come ashore. Enhanced surveillance, secure facilities, and rapid response teams can help deter sabotage and respond quickly to threats. Better monitoring of the seabed is crucial. With advanced technology, we can detect disturbances and potential threats in real time. International cooperation is key, as these cables cross borders and connect nations. Sharing information and resources strengthens our collective defense. Building new cables is a massive undertaking. It's expensive, complex, and requires significant investment from tech companies and governments alike. The process can take years, involving careful planning, engineering, and coordination across continents. As tech giants increasingly fund and build this infrastructure, questions of ownership and control become more pressing. Who decides how data flows? Who is responsible for maintenance and security? These are issues that must be addressed as private and public interests intersect. While satellite internet services offer a backup, they are only a temporary fix. Satellites can't match the speed, capacity, or reliability of fiber optic cables. For now, undersea cables remain the backbone of global connectivity. Every new cable project is designed with geopolitics in mind. Routes are chosen to avoid conflict zones and minimize risk, but political tensions can still threaten these vital links. Careful planning and diplomacy are essential to keep the network safe. The competition to host landing stations is intensifying. Cities and countries vie for the economic and strategic advantages that come with being a digital gateway. Hosting a landing station can boost local economies and enhance global influence. Securing our digital lifeline requires a collective effort. Engineers, governments, companies, and communities must work together, sharing knowledge and resources to protect this essential infrastructure. The internet is not just a virtual space, it's a physical network, a shared global resource that connects us all. Its strength depends on our commitment to maintaining and defending it. Its fragility is a shared global responsibility. When a cable is damaged, the world feels the impact. Rapid repairs and international support are vital to restoring connections and minimizing disruption. In the end, it's up to all of us to protect the invisible foundation of our modern world. By working together, we can ensure that the digital connections we rely on remain strong, secure, and open for